I am Chris Wood. It is October 9th, 2024 at 2:23 p.m. Congratulations, Ontario Provincial Police, OPP Spencer Mills 14716, Robert Kane 7224, XG for Commander, year 2019, White Jeep Wrangler, Staff Sergeants, years 2019-2021, Robert Lucas, Dave Weiss, Stacy, a mental health worker, was Napanee Daily Tea Company, now Kingston, AMHS. Shelley Hafner or Huffner, Shannon Cork. Dr. Tatiana V, aka Margie V, name and file falsifier, girlfriend to Stacy, medical blacklister. Dr. Joy Hadley, Dr. Barton, Dr. Waldron, Dr. Pritchard, Dr. McGregor, Triage Terry, Tanya David, ex-CEO Covey Duck, and Patient Relations Brown. Justice of the Peace, obstructions, accusations, threats, intimidations. One known as Bill Wooldridge, 149 Centre Street, North Napanee, Ontario, bald glasses, approximately 70 years old, guilty of stalking and murdering my mother, guilty of identity theft with the intent to commit identity fraud. He is an obsessed homosexual. He is a fucking pedophile, sex slave trafficker for ex-OPP chief. Highly psychotic, highly delusional, thinks that he is me, believes that we were switched at birth, thinks that he is my dad, was stalking my mother before he killed her and was calling her mom, and thinks he's Harry Potter. This is the OPP number one untouchable piece of shit, approximately 70 years old. Tyler Teabag Lake, he's guilty of killing my dog Runt. He is guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit for Robert Kane, OPP 7224. Jason Gimpy, two-step Vinalstein, he is guilty of identity theft with the intent to commit identity fraud, insurance and disability fraud. He is guilty of attempted murder. He is guilty of multiple homicides. He is guilty of drug lacing and drug overdose murders in Napanee and Kingston. Ray LeBlanc, he is guilty of stalking. He is guilty of attempted murder, torturing with intent to commit. Bert the Hitman Hustler, he is guilty of identity theft with the intent to commit identity fraud. He is guilty of torture. He is guilty of attempted murder. He is allegedly an NHL hockey player for the Philadelphia Flyers and Hartford Whalers. He is a sex slave trafficker, a pillhead, a meth head. Robert Berry, he's guilty of attempted murder. He's guilty of being involved with my identity theft. He's guilty of sex assaults. He's guilty of torture. He is guilty of attempted murder. He is a possible serial killer. He is a sex slave trafficker and a truck driver, him and his boyfriend Robert. There is one Ray LeBlanc, who is a human trafficker, sex slave trafficker, a child groomer, meth head, meth trafficker. He's guilty of stalking, guilty of torturing my dog and killing him with Tyler Teabag Lake, March 2023. Dale and Harry Hartwick, guilty of attempted murder, guilty of torture, guilty of being involved with my identity theft with the intent to commit for drop charges. His boyfriend, Tony Anthony Axel Rose Hearns, guilty of my being involved with my identity theft, guilty of torture crimes, guilty of drug trafficking, guilty of attempted paralyzing me, and guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit for his boyfriend, Dale Hartwick, to aid him in drop charges. These are all OPP drug traffickers, sex slave traffickers, human traffickers. They are all sex offenders. They are all pedophiles. They are all drug traffickers. They are all stalkers. They are all guilty of murders, attempted murders within 4 Ontario Provincial Police, the ones named, and the doctors who have aided them in covering up their homicides, labeling their murders falsely to prevent arrest, to prevent any legal investigations. How people are going murdered and missing is through the police, through identity thefts, through injuring, through torturing, through medical blacklisting, through false arrests, through lies, through time buying, through cover-ups. How OPP are guilty now of murdering the Wood bloodline by doing this to me through these pieces of shit. Time has been bought, damage is done. I have no feeling in the right side of my fucking head. I'm getting air pumped through me. I'm having trouble thinking. I'm having problems walking. I'm having I'm having more problems trying to remember myself and my past because I am getting seriously brain injured and tortured, and this is the whole fucking point of this, so these pieces of shit get away with it. Dale fucking Hartwick, Anthony Axel Rose Hearns, Bert the Hitman Hustler, Tyler Teabag Lake, Robert Barry, his boyfriend Robert, Bert Hustler once again, Jason Gimpy, Two-Step Van Alstyne. They are all crackheads, meth heads, speed heads, fentanyl heads, and they are all work with and for OPP, rat informants, accomplices, cannot be touched without $22,000. Dale Hartwick, you are also involved with the murder of my mother because you are an accomplice with and for Bill Wooldridge, Tyler Lake, Jason Van Alstyne, Blair Hardy, and OPP, so that makes you also an accomplice to my mother's murder in 2020. Also, Tony Anthony Axel Rose Hearns makes you an accomplice as well, makes you an accomplice to attempted murder on me. I hope you fucking junkies are happy. This is what happens in Napanee when you speak OPP crimes. You get injured, you get tortured, you get seriously deformed, you get medically blacklisted, you get falsely arrested, you get kidnapped, you get stalked, you have your blood and piss forced from you, you have serious lies against you, you have medical files falsified, you have being falsely arrested and charged through hospitals in an attempt to give criminal records, in an attempt to deflect crimes, in an attempt to get out of crimes that they are guilty of while deflecting them back onto their victims. Natives, poor, elderly, disabled, beware, causing homelessness and homeless human trafficking and sex slavery trafficking, torture crimes, and murdering. It is Ontario Provincial Police. It is doctors who are criminally negligently involved, and it is their pieces of shit who are aiding them in their crimes. Bill Wooldridge is an obsessed homosexual, like I said. $22,000 to have these bastards arrested. I am the end of my bloodline. My identity theft is done. I have no fucking feeling in my head or my face from being seriously injured and damaged over the course of 5 years and not being able to do anything about it. Time has been bought. You are nothing but murdering pieces of shit, OPP. You are murdering pieces of shit and cover-up doctors. You are fucking filth. Bill Wooldridge, Blair Hardy, Tyler Lake, Jason Van Alstyne, Dale Hartwick, Tony Hearns, Ray LeBlanc, Bert Hustler. Also another schizoid named Isaac as well involved. They are all homeless and they are all OPP accomplices and little pieces of shit. You speak police crimes in Napanee, expect murders to happen, and they will get away with it. It will be covered up, and there will be fuck all you can do about it. Your legal, medical, and human rights will be taken because of these pieces of shit. I don't have $22,000 to give OPP to get these bastards arrested, but they themselves need it as well, along with doctors. You are guilty of murdering and ending the Wood bloodline. Anytime OPP now wants to exhume bodies, I'm more than willing to let you pay for it to do it to my dad. I took precautions to prove my identity, to prove my DNA as well, before all of this seriously started to happen to me. So congratulations, you fucking garbage. All because of me speaking of police crimes. This is 100% revenge on me. Each and every one of you lowlives named are going down and will pay for murders and attempted murders, whether you work with and for the police. No threat against anybody, 100% legally, along with the cops involved and the doctors. One way or another, you will pay and answer for what you fucking done to me, you lowlives. When people go disappearing and murdered, remember, identity thefts, while being kept from fucking help, while being injured, tortured, and going through this. How many others have you done this to? Spencer Mills and OPP, to frame victims, to fuck victims over, and to commit murders on them, to commit identity thefts and frauds, to commit welfare frauds, disability insurance, pension frauds against victims as well, bank frauds, to fuck victims over, to falsely arrest them for your revenge. And that's exactly what this is, 100% revenge crime against me through the police and their low lives. So public beware, because time is bought, nothing can be done. I now share DNA with each and every one of these fuckers because of me speaking of police crimes, and they are all obsessed homosexual junkie low lives.